When is the right time to sell a Lego set that you've been investing in? Stick around for this video as we talk about when the right time is for you to sell your specific Lego investments. I wish I could just answer this video in like 15 seconds, say 2 years after retirement, and then turn it off and we'd be good to go. But unfortunately, that answer is not going to suffice for me. It's definitely not going to suffice for you because there are a ton of factors that come into when is the right time for you to sell your Lego investments. So to answer this question, I first have to ask you a question. Why are you investing in Lego sets? And I'm serious. I actually want you to answer this question in the comments below so I know who I'm talking to. You could be investing in Lego for several different reasons. It could be a side hustle that provides supplemental income. It could truly be a long-term investment that you're hoping to hold for multiple years, like stocks or any other asset like cards, Nike shoes, something in that category. Maybe you're investing to fund your Lego building hobby just like I do. Or maybe you just like the hustle. You like to diversify, you like to invest, you like to buy and sell. You like all of that and you're just wondering, how long should I hold my specific Lego sets? So to answer the question, when should I sell the Lego sets that I've been investing in? You first have to answer the question, why am I investing in Lego? But I'm obviously not going to end this video with a rhetorical question, and I will give you kind of a look into some of the reasons why and what is the right time to sell a few specific Lego sets. Let me just kick it off with this. My number one, personally, okay, for me, Jake's Bricks, in investing, buying, and selling Lego sets, the number one reason that I end up having to sell Lego sets is space. To be honest, I've actually come to the point where I really don't have enough space to invest in more Lego sets. So I am constantly thinking about which sets am I proud of the return on investment I've got. I end up selling off those Lego sets and buying more sets for Lego investing and Lego reselling. But there are going to be some of you out there that have an unlimited amount of space. Maybe you have a large unfinished basement, maybe you have a storage unit, maybe you have a warehouse, and you can store hundreds of thousands of Lego sets. So if that's the case, when's the right time for you to sell? You might answer that question in one of two ways. One, when I've gotten a return on investment that I am happy with. Or two, whenever I think this Lego set has reached its peak. Over the last 7 years of Lego investing, I've had to look at those two things. Am I happy with the return, or do I want to get the maximum return I possibly can? And to be honest, I've actually defaulted to number one. The reason that I focus primarily on number one is because it's freed me up in a way that doesn't have constant anxiety of, am I going to get more money? Am I going to get more money? Am I going to get more money? If I can decide personally that I'm excited about the return on investment I've had for that specific Lego set and I sell it, I have to choose to be at peace that even if that set in a year went up another 300% in value, that I remember making the choice, I am happy with the return I've gotten on this investment. And let me tell you, this is one of the most difficult parts of Lego investing and Lego reselling. Because you have constant FOMO about a set that you sold way too early. If I would have just held that on for another couple of years. This happens constantly with old sets that I look back thinking, if only I would have held on to that longer. And I'm sure at points in your Lego investing journey, you have struggled with this thing as well. And I have to constantly come back to myself and remind myself at that time, I was happy with my investment. I was able to use those dollars that I sold and invest in other Lego sets. That's allowed me to grow my inventory to as large as you see behind me, and it helps me live with less. Still some, but less anxiety than I might normally have if I was trying to get the maximum possible return on investment. Now, if you do fall into category number two and you're trying to get the maximum return on investment, there are a couple factors that I can help inform you to maybe maximizing your potential. If we're going to use a broad strokes statement, what is the maximum return on investment you truly can get? It typically falls into the 3 to 5 year window. The 3 to 5 year window is the 3 to 5 years after a Lego set has retired. Usually around year 3 or year 4, that set that's increased in value will at some point have plateaued. You'll get the initial price jump when that set initially retires, which usually is anywhere from 30 to 50%. And then over the next couple years, it'll climb by 15 to 25% year over year. And then around year 3 or 4, you're really only getting anywhere from 3 to 5% return on investment year over year. Now again, this is a broad stroke statement. This is not indicative of every single Lego set, but I would say it is indicative of the majority of Lego sets. Let's take this set for example, the 21137 Minecraft The Mountain Cave. This set was originally available for MSRP here in the US for $250. Towards the end of retirement, I picked up 3 of these for just under 200 bucks. I think it was around $180 to $190 each. For me, let me tell you what I usually focus on when I determine it's the right time to sell a Lego set. My hope is that when I sell a Lego set, I have at least returned 100 to 150% return on investment. So for example, if I bought a set for $80 and it was originally MSRP $100, my hope is that that set would have appreciated to at least $160, maybe $170 or $180 before I sell that Lego set. Once I sell that set for $180 minus fees and shipping, if you want to learn about fees and shipping when it comes to Lego selling, click on that exclamation point in the top corner right there. I talk about what eBay selling looks like when it comes to Lego sets. But once I've gotten like $170, $180 back, I sell that set and I'm usually pretty comfortable with the profit I'd make. On an $80 Lego set, it'd be anywhere from $50 to $60 profit. Now for smaller sets, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to get your return on investment when you think about shipping a smaller Lego set. But anyway, we were talking about the Minecraft Mountain Cave. I bought 3 of those. My buy-in was $180. And when I saw that on the secondary market just a year and a half after retirement, it was trending at around $450 and $500, I was overjoyed that it was already valued that much, and I ended up selling 2 of the 3 that I had. And I got a really sizable return on investment. I think I made anywhere from $150 to $200 on each of those that I bought. I held on to the last one for another year, ended up selling it on Facebook Marketplace for $550, avoided shipping and fees, and I was overjoyed at the amount of money that I had made on those 3 Lego sets. But then we come to 3 and 5 years post-retirement, and this set is now trending at around $1,000 on the secondary market. So again, we're going to come back to, do you want to maximize on your investment, or are you going to be comfortable with a certain return on investment and that's when you choose to sell? That's usually where I ended up. I was really excited about the return on investment I had for those specific Lego sets. And although if I would have held on it to 3 to 5 years, I might have returned anywhere from $750, $800, now up to $1,000 on that specific Lego set, I chose to sell those Lego sets at the return that I was comfortable in. I think this set has been retired for 5 years now, maybe 6 years. It came out in 2014, retired in 2016. Someone's going to have to check my math on that. But when I sold it, I was excited about the return that I got. Yes, if I would have held on to it in the 3 to 5 year window, I could have earned more return on investment. But let me tell you, there are a ton of risks with holding on to a Lego set for that long. The reason I often hang over here in camp number 1, selling a Lego set when it's a return that I'm proud of, is because there are some other risk factors to holding on to a Lego set long term. Take, for example, the set that you see right behind me. That right there is the Lego Taj Mahal. That's the original one from 2007, I think it was released. So they released this Lego set in 2007. It retires after about 3 years, and this set just dominates the Lego investing market. I think the original buy-in was $300 or $350 for this Lego set that's sitting behind me. That's the original. And then over time, it continued to climb and climb and climb and climb and climb. And then it got up to about $3,000 in around 2016. So what did Lego do? They went back into their vault. They took a look at the Taj Mahal and said, what would it be like if we re-released that Lego set? And so they did just that. Released an almost exact replica of the original set from 2007. Released it in 2017, and the value on the original sealed Lego set plummeted almost all the way to zero. Okay, not all the way to zero, but you could now get the exact replica with a slightly different box and a different box number for $400. So what were collectors going to do? They were going to buy the new one for $400. Not many collectors out there care about just a different box number. So the value of the original Lego set went down to like $650, $750 while the re-released Lego set was still on the market. The re-released one has now retired, which both of those sets are slowly starting to increase in value again. But I think the original one from 2007, you can still probably pick up for $800 to $1,000 new in the box. So when trying to maximize your return on investment, if that's the camp that you stay in, know that there's a lot of risk to that because over the last several years, Lego has re-released a ton of Lego sets. The NASA Saturn V, the Ship in a Bottle, the Taj Mahal, the Death Star. They effectively re-released the UCS Millennium Falcon. The original one from 2007 had a secondary market value at one point from $8,000 to $10,000, and then they brought out the $800 UCS Millennium Falcon back in 2016. And it effectively destroyed the value of the original UCS Falcon down to like $1,000 because the new one had like twice as many pieces. This is what makes Lego investing a little bit risky. I usually end up holding on to a Lego set for 1 to 2 years. Sometimes I'll last to the 3 to 4 year mark, but I have so much fear about Lego re-releasing sets or releasing the same minifigure in another set, which is another factor that devalues a specific Lego set. There are a ton of factors to look at when it comes to Lego investing that can damage the value of the investment that you currently own. I've talked about some of those factors in my series called Lego Investing for Beginners. You can click on that playlist in the top corner. But let's kind of wrap this up a little bit. The Jake's Bricks investing experience has been holding on to a Lego set for 1 to 2 years as long as I have the space, and typically when I'm comfortable with that specific return on investment, which ends up usually being anywhere from 100 to 150% return. I know there are tons of you out there in the Lego investing community that have been holding on to Lego sets for 5, 7, and 10 years. And to be honest, you probably have way more Lego set value in investing portfolio than I do. Let's say you bought the original Lego Cloud City like 20 years ago. I think the original MSRP was $100, maybe $200. And now it's worth like $5,000, maybe $8,000 if you have it sealed brand new in the box. That Cloud City Boba Fett minifigure is worth $2,000. No one would have been able to know. And you know what's crazy? Lego tomorrow could say, let's just re-release that exact same minifigure. Like they could do that if they wanted. And everyone holding on to the original Cloud City Boba could be sitting there with a worthless piece of plastic because they put it in a new set and it starts trending at around $10 to $15. There's a ton of risk to Lego investing, but I want you to know this. It is super fun. I've had a blast buying, selling, and investing Lego sets over the last 7 years. It funds my Lego building hobby. We have a little side income for vacations and fun stuff with our family. I've truly enjoyed the experience. So I hope you can answer the question for yourself. When is the right time for you to sell a Lego set? Hopefully, it's when you are proud of that return on investment. You have plenty of space to store those Lego sets, and you are excited to continue to grow your investing portfolio by investing, buying, and selling Lego sets, reinvesting, and growing your inventory and utilizing it to fund your Lego building hobby. I hope this video helped you out. I hope you stay subscribed to my channel to learn more about Lego investing, buying, and selling. My goal is to help you fund your Lego building hobby. And as always, it's Jake from Jake's Bricks, signing off. We'll see you guys.